Hey, how's it going everyone? Tyler here from TEAMCOFF, and today we're back with another video and we're talking about fishing rods today. And more specifically, we're talking about the Sixgill Lykan model, 7-foot medium. Before we get going, I just want to state that I am in no way affiliated with Sixgill fishing products. This is just an honest review from someone that fishes a lot and fishes for a wide variety of different species. So guys, when it comes to the Lykan series, there's spinning rods and there's casting rods, all different types of models, all different types of lengths and different types of power. Again, we're going to be getting into the 7-foot medium today because this is going to be kind of a review and also a buyer's guide for someone that's really looking for a good general all-purpose rod that can fish for all kinds of different species and all different types of bodies of water. To start, it's a Japanese Toray carbon blend rod and it comes in one piece. Now I want to mention that it comes in one piece just because if you're one of those types of people that's likes to travel and break the rod down, if you're in the mountains hiking around, mountain biking around into deep places that are hard to access, you won't be able to break this guy down. So I really want to make sure that's a disclaimer first. The second thing I want to get into is the Fuji Alkanite guide system. Now all the guides on here are called Fuji Alkanite guides. These Fuji guides, of course, run from the bottom all the way to the top where the fast action tip is. And if you're unaware about Fuji Alkanite guides, let me get into that a little bit for you. So Fuji Alkanite guides, they offer very low abrasion on any type of line that you're using. They also are 35% lighter and 50% stronger than competitive guides in their field. Now, as a testament to that, I have accidentally dropped bags of camera gear, bags of fishing stuff right on top of those guides in the back of my car, getting out of my car, whatever the situation may be. When that happened, I really thought that I broke my rods. Definitely thought I broke one of the guides. And on a cheaper rod, I definitely would have. But when I took off my camera gear and heavy bags, and those times that it's happened, guides were perfectly fine. So really good stuff when it comes to those guides, guys. So the next stat I want to get into about this rod is these awesome soft polymer grips. All right, these grips are the real deal, guys. Not only do they feel just incredible in the hand, all right, they provide awesome grip, really great friction, so you'll have less slip-ups on your hook sets, less slip-ups just carrying the rod in general in any types of situations. These also, when they get soaking wet, still great grip. Kind of reminds me almost of a NFL wide receiver glove. If any of you played football back in the day, you know what I'm talking about. This rod also comes with a blank reel seat for extra sensitivity. And when it comes to the price tag of this guy, it's not in the cheap range, it's not in the ultra expensive range, it's kind of in that sweet spot right in the middle, $240 on the website. Now for some of you, $240 may be a lot of money to spend on a fishing rod, and that's understandable. But if you're really looking for that really solid, all general purpose rod for all types of different fishing, guys, $240 is not a bad deal for this rod. And I'm going to get into more specifics about this here in a second. So everyone, we talked about the stats about this amazing rod. Let's get into some specifics about why I feel the way I do about this. To start, guys, this is a very sensitive, very strong, and very durable rod. Now, when I say sensitive, I go pan fishing with this. This can feel the soft bite of a bluegill to a crappie. And not only is it just great for pan fishing, the sensitivity of that, it's everywhere in between and all the way to the other spectrum. All right, I use this guy for bass fishing, smallmouth or largemouth. I use this guy for trout, all different sizes, and all the way up to catfishing and carp fishing. Now you might be saying to yourself, Tyler, you can't land a big fish on a rod like that. Now this isn't a 10-foot extra heavy pole that you can just wrench a catfish out of the water. But guys, do remember, if you have the right line and you have the right drag settings on here, you can pull in any type of big fish. I know people, including my teammate Remy, that have caught double-digit carp, double-digit trout even, on an ultralight on 4-pound, 6-pound test. Now when it comes to the type of gear that I throw on this, all kinds of different stuff. Every rod's gonna have its suggestions, but there's always a little give with that. Now, I throw everything from 4-pound fluorocarbon with a 1/16 ounce jig on here, all the way up to 20-pound braid, 25-pound braid, half-ounce weight, Carolina rigging, fishing for catfish, fishing for carp in tournaments. This covers everything in between. Now, another thing that I mentioned was how durable this rod is. Now, when I speak of durable, I'm really talking about the type of fishing that I do. Now, a lot of times on the channel, a lot of times fishing in general, I'm out in the backcountry, I'm in the mountains, I'm banging this thing on rocks, accidentally dropping it on rocks, other types of various hard surfaces, going through brush, going through forest, hitting the stuff on trees. I mean, I self-admittedly could take a lot better care of my equipment, but some of the fishing that I do kind of puts me in line for some of that stuff. Now, I've owned this rod for about 3/4 of a year, and with all that type of fishing I do, there's not a scratch on this thing. None of the guides have bent, nothing's bent on this thing, and it's just still in great one shape and just looks amazing, almost looks brand new still. So this rod is not only sensitive and strong for fishing, but it's also really durable if you're trying to do any types of adventures in the mountains, any type of wear and tear like that. This thing's gonna hold up to that test. We talked about this rod being 7 feet. Now that provides some really good casting distance on here. This rod just casts great in general. I've used other 7-foot rods before. This thing definitely outcasts those. This is also a very light rod, okay? This isn't a rod that's super heavy, all right? You won't get any wrist fatigue. I fish sometimes 10 to 12 hours at a time. And at the end of the day, if you're fishing a really heavy rod with a really heavy reel, you can feel some of that wrist fatigue sometimes. This rod, I've never felt that even close, not even once, while fishing in big, heavy fishing sessions with this thing. When it comes to bodies of waters, guys, this rod works great in creeks, streams, rivers, still bodies of water like lakes and ponds, reservoirs, all the way up to fast-moving currents and rivers. Guys, when it comes to this 7-foot Sixgill Lykan rod, you will not be sorry if you get it. Again, I've owned this for 3/4 of a year. It has easily become my favorite fishing rod for all kinds of different types of fishing. You will not be sorry if you pick up this rod. So everyone, if you have any questions about this rod, any questions about the reel setup I use, what I throw with it, please comment below. I read all the comments and answer them as fast as I can. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. And most importantly, if you're looking to buy a good all general purpose rod, hopefully this helped you out. Until next time, guys, TEAMCOFF signing out.